Well, it looks like the days of talking about Uber, Lyft, and politics might be coming to an end. Times are changing for gig workers and the gig economy, and there are a lot more gigs from a lot more companies than there used to be. That's why when people ask me where they can go to find resources for the gig economy, I recommend gigworker.com. At this site, you can see what other gig workers are doing and discover better opportunities from industries, companies, resources, and even a forum where you can talk with other people in the gig economy. Gigworker.com is a great resource site whether you work for Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, TaxRabbit, Thumbtack, Upwork, whatever. There's a gig for you and there's a forum for you on gigworker.com. Gigworker.com for all your gigs. However, before we talk about that, let's have a word from our sponsor, who thankfully will be very instrumental to keeping this channel running. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and before we talk about today's subject, I felt it was especially appropriate to thank Jill, our newest Patreon member, because it is people like Jill who give even just a little bit of money to help this channel continue doing what it's doing every day, multiple times a day, and I thank people like her for supporting this channel, because the scary situations like what's been going on with YouTube this week do crop up, and this will be a sensitive topic. I fully expect this video to be demonetized. Not much I can do about that, but you got to talk about this sometimes. So I don't know if anyone's aware of what's going on with YouTube, but there is a YouTube comedian named Steven Crowder. Personally, don't think he's that funny. I mean, he's had a couple funny sketches. There are times he has made me laugh. But as far as comedians go, not my favorite. Not my least favorite either, but somewhere in the middle. And for years, he's been responding to the comments and articles of a Vox journalist. I use that word loosely because I don't think Vox are journalists per se. Carlos Mencia, I believe his name is. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. Who, despite this guy being a guy who is on Twitter called for violence and harassment, has actually encouraged people to throw milkshakes at politicians they disagree with, made a huge stink on Twitter about how YouTube was not an ally to the LGBT plus community because they were safe havening a guy like this who has made jokes about gay people. Never mind the fact that gay people make jokes about gay people. I don't know if you ever heard of a comedian named Ant. However, he was like on the on one of those comedian shows years ago. His whole shtick was that he was gay. He would say in a lispy voice, "I'm gonna whoop that ass, but first I'm gonna squeeze it." And so gay people make jokes about gay people. And LGBT month, from my perspective, should not be you get special treatment because you're gay. You are celebrated because you are gay and you're just like everyone else. That's what LGBT Pride Month means to me anyway. Or at least that's what I think it is. I could be completely wrong because Carlos is certainly not acting that way. So Carlos asked for Crowder's channel to get removed. YouTube did a investigation of Steven Crowder's channels, decided he did not break any harassment rules. And this has been debated multiple times on YouTube by much smarter YouTube commentators than me, so I will let them deal with that. I tend to agree with YouTube's stance on this one. I believe he was just making jokes. They might have been offensive, but hey, sometimes jokes are offensive. I mean, just look at George Carlin. Guy was almost jailed for the 7 things you can't say on television, and most people here would say that's ridiculous because that's a violation of free speech. Well, yeah, you can kind of see where I'm heading with this now. Well, obviously Carlos didn't like that response, so he got an army to start targeting the advertisers, and YouTube demonetized Steven's channel. Like, they said, okay, we're not taking the videos off, we're going to demonetize him, which is a halfway measure that doesn't please anyone, because people who believe in free speech say he should be making money off these, and people who don't believe in free speech say he should be taken down. I'm sorry, that's kind of how I see this. I could be wrong. We can discuss this below as long as we're all civil about it. Well, here's what happened. YouTube decided they were going to make a blog, and they were going to announce all these new anti-hate changes that were coming to YouTube. And the problem is, whenever YouTube has an issue, like, for example, a Coca-Cola and a Starbucks ad showing up on a Islamic training video, they use a nuke to kill a fly. And in that case, that's what started the whole, the whole adpocalypse thing. And that's what started you have to have 1,000 subscribers to get monetization, and you have to have so many minutes watched. And then after you have those, then someone can review your channel. And if they decide it's advertiser friendly, you get monetization. So that's what kickstarted that whole thing. Now what YouTube is doing is they are deplatforming and demonetizing a lot of channels that have nothing to do with this debate or even politics in general. So a lot of comedians have found their channels just demonetized. They can't make money anymore off of it. Because when YouTube throws a net, it is wide and it is far. Now, how does this affect my channel? Well, here's how it affects my channel potentially. I typically don't talk politics on this channel. I will sometimes make certain viewpoints known on my live streams. Definitely get a lot of hate from people because I do not toe the line with anyone. I mean, it's like I can like Elizabeth Warren and Mark Rubio and dislike Donald Trump and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I could say I would actually be okay with voting for Joe Biden, or I'd be okay with voting for Paul Ryan. Like, I am definitely centrist. So I try not to discuss politics too much because it's a headache, to be perfectly frank. People have taken such hard stances, like, oh, you have to like this person or you're against me, or if you dislike this person, you're an enemy of me. And I don't like to think it that way. I like to think we have disagreements, and even people that I don't like, I definitely am happy when it seems like they are trying to help. Like I mentioned in one of my recent podcasts that I thought it was one of the coolest things that Mitt Romney and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez were teaming up to end government lobbying or to limit that for politicians who, after they leave government office, write laws that they can't become lobbyists for companies. I actually think that's a good law, and I don't care who's saying it, I will support that. And the fact that two people on the polar opposite ends are co-writing a bill about that, that is awesome in my opinion, because we should be communicating with each other more and we should be compromising more. We should both bring what we know and believe to the table and coming up with the best possible version of these laws that we can. Here's the problem. Rideshare is becoming very political. It is becoming political in the sense that we have protesters and organizers now. There are people who want to be unionized. There are people who want to stay independent contractor. You have some presidential candidates actually running on higher wages for rideshare drivers as part of their platform, even if, as we found out recently, some of them then go to a fundraiser the next day with an Uber executive. We have all these different people, and voters will be courting, politicians will be courting voters with laws that will severely affect this industry. There will be bills written catering to people who want certain things. We will need to talk about this at some point. We absolutely will need to talk about it. And yet now we have the Vox adpocalypse, where because someone got their feelings hurt, the whole site is basically on red alert. We don't know who's going to get demonetized and why. My channel, for the record, is not demonetized. And sponsors like Gig Worker and Maximo and Patreon members like Jill and everyone you see at the end of this video, because I didn't have time to add Jill's name yet. Sorry, Jill. It will be there on Monday. And Driver Lady Pro, she also contributes to this channel. These people will help me financially in case something happens. However, I can definitely avoid, at least I think I can, for the most part, avoid this happening if I just simply don't discuss the topics at all. However, by not discussing the topics, I feel like I'm almost hiding. Like I'm hiding from the algorithm, I'm hiding from YouTube, I'm hiding from people who might not agree with my ideas, and we're not being fully transparent about what's going on in this industry. So I feel like I must talk about these things, and yet I'm scared to. I'm scared to because YouTube becomes a very scary place for people who depend on the platform for money, whether it's all their money or whether a little bit of money. When you have a financial dependency on YouTube, the idea of making videos and then having that monetization stripped away. You get like this email, this really scary cryptic email that says you've been found to be in violation of their terms of service and you can reapply within 30 days. Well, that's a very scary thought. And now that I know what might be triggering it, there is a huge part of me that is thinking, shoot, maybe I should just wait the election out, just not even discuss the politics at all. However, I know that a lot of you don't want that. You want the news on what the politicians feel about rideshare and what they feel about you and what they feel about taxing it and what they feel about, capping the vehicles or making us employees. You want to know who's saying what. Heck, some of you want to know who's supporting unionization of rideshare because you will want to vote against that, which is fine. That is your right as an American citizen. I'm trying to bring you the facts. I will give my opinion. Ultimately, what you do with that information is up to you. And YouTube is putting me in a position where I fear I can't bring you that information, that I can't even talk about it. So I'm even kind of like starting to wonder just a little bit, would like the solution be to like make the videos and put them on like Twitch or something? Just put them on a different platform altogether. I mean, I don't make money off Twitch right now, but I could put like a little video on the channel and say, YouTube won't allow me to put this video on. Check out the link below. I could do that. That's very annoying. It's super annoying. Or I could throw caution to the wind. I could say, screw it. I'm going to talk about it one way or the other. I don't know what to do, guys. And I hope you can help me out. This is truly going to be like a conversation I need feedback video. Your feedback will be very, very helpful for me to know where to go next on how to deal with what is sure to become very sensitive political topics in the near future. I mean, we're not talking politics every single day. However, the closer we get to the election, we will be. And we need to figure out what to do about that. So please, tell me, what do you think we should do? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And I'm just going to end it there, as always. Well, actually, I will say this. I will definitely push my Patreon because even as little as $1 goes a real long way to help this channel out. And if ever there was a time to contribute, I guess now would be it. Otherwise, thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing. All that goes a long way. Let me know what you think about this. And flame responsibly. Have a good one.